Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today, I want to talk about why we haven't seen as much inflation as a lot of people say we should. So, to start off, inflation is caused by having an excess of dollars demanding goods. And with all the money that is being printed right now, we are starting to see that demand for the dollars, or a massive supply in the dollars. But the demand for the goods just isn't quite there yet. Everyone's afraid to spend their money. So it doesn't necessarily matter how much money is in the economy. If nobody wants to spend money, prices don't go up. Right now, basically half of America is considering selling their home due to this economic crisis. The confidence and willing to spend the money isn't there. People might be getting money. There might be printing lots of money, but if there's not an excess of dollar demand for goods, inflation's not going to kick in. What will cause inflation to kick in? It's not going to be this time. We gotta wait for people to be confident to spend money. Once people think that they're gonna be okay and spend money again, that's when inflation kicks in. Now's not the time for inflation. Inflation is coming up. The more money that gets printed to bail everyone out and all the companies out, that doesn't cause the inflation. It's when there's an excess dollar demand for the goods. Once the velocity of spending picks up, that's when people are gonna start to question what's going on with these prices. That's when people are gonna start to see the problems with printing all this money. Because if you look at the markets, it looks like everything's great after 2008 and everything, the financial crisis, but many people still haven't recovered from that. And they're going into this crisis far worse off than the last one. And this is a bigger crisis. That's why I don't think the money printing is going to stop anytime soon. Which means there will be more and more inflation. And it could be bad once we start to see a recovery. Because you could have an excess, I want to stress the fact that you could have the excess dollar supply, but if the velocity of spending isn't there, you don't see the inflation. You saw velocity of spending in the stock market. I mean, You can see the inflation that's come out of that. That's more of a topic for another video, but you could look at almost every company, look at their price to earnings ratio, and it's ridiculously high. That's the inflation you see. That is why it's also, once that inflation there gets pulled out of the stock market, it's got to go somewhere. Normally you initially see a spike in the dollar because everyone wants to, there's that demand for the dollars. Everyone's trying to sell off all their securities and buy and get dollars for them. But all those people don't like to hold cash. They don't like dollars. They start to put it elsewhere. Investors on Wall Street, they don't like holding cash. That's why they're going to put it somewhere, and a lot of them are going to think of the metals. Now, I like this stuff here. The silver, personally. Because it's got a low market cap. It's very low risk. It's not too often you find that. And I think we're going to see quite a bit of inflation in the silver price. Because gold too, but not as much as the silver. Hedge funds don't buy silver typically. Gold? Yeah, they'll have some gold. Not silver. They see this as the poor man's gold. But everyone on this channel sees this as potential. Because it'll get to the point where even Wall Street investors, they'll see the price of gold, they'll see the price of silver. I'm pretty surprised it hasn't happened yet, with the ratio being around 100 to 1. That's a ridiculous ratio to me. Now, I think once people start to realize the potential in silver for all those hedge fund investors, the price will go way up. We're going to see inflation in silver, I believe. Gold too, but not quite as much as the silver. Once that velocity picks up, we're going to see it everywhere. But I could see some Wall Street investors turning to this stuff. That's just my opinion, though. I'm not a financial advisor. Please subscribe, like, share, help out the channel a lot. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Stay positive.